morning, everyone. 83 degrees, and it is 11:46. I just got done with counseling, and I was telling my counselor about what happened. My ponytail is a little too tight on me, but if I loosen it, then my hair is going to come all down. What happened at church on this past Sunday, I've already talked about it, so I'm not going to talk about it again. And, you know what, okay, let me just refresh about my friend and her friend, how she sat between us and then she was trying to move us. Yeah, and I was not having it. And I texted my friend on Sunday and she still has not answered me. Then I did a follow-up text yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Still have not gotten an answer. So now I'm just going to wait until Sunday, and if she does talk to me, I'm just going to tell her, hey, do you have a few moments after church? I would like to talk to you. And she's like, yeah. Okay, so, and then I'll bring it up, you know what, I'm here to focus on myself. I'm not interested in being a part of a group, and, I'm not comfortable with this, and I will completely understand if that is what you're seeking, and, and if you want to, you know what, I'm going to pass by over here real quick. I completely understand if you want to, go hang out with your friends and everything, but I do not want to make you feel in any way, or your friends in any way, feel like I'm trying to keep you from them. You're entitled to have your friendships. I'm your church buddy, like you said, but I'm not really open to bringing anybody else into my life right now. That's all I could say, you all. I don't know how else to do it. I honestly don't. I don't know how else to say, that I don't want this, I don't want this kind of drama in my life. So hopefully that'll work. I passed by where I used to live, you all, at the villas. And as it turns out, yeah, that landlady's not there anymore. If the rent wasn't so high over here, I would consider moving back over here. However, I don't know if I'd be willing to put up with the noise again of upstairs and downstairs, So that's my thing. And the reason I'm bringing that up right now is because, let's talk about it. Let me get some water first. I almost choked there. The reason I'm even bringing it up, you all, is because there is a drama at the community. I'm going to call it the community. And why I'm calling it the community, because it's a smaller complex. It's a duplex, and I believe there's only 20 apartments altogether. And when we first moved into this community, I'm so tempted to say Communiti, because I listen to this one YouTuber and he's always on the Communiti, and it makes me laugh every time he says it. But anyway, the community, it was really peaceful, just families that lived there, no drama. I loved it. It was like night and day, Now this is rolling around everywhere. Good grief, I don't know where to put this. And people have been moving out since we've been there. We know this already. I've talked about it, right? First, it started out with a family that lived next to me, or lives next to me, where they started to have their family move in. And I was not liking it. I still don't like it. I posted a picture yesterday on my community post of one of the guys that lives there, behind me, how he likes to walk right into my car all the time. or right beside my car. Let's not exaggerate. Right beside my car. And it irritates the you-know-what out of me because he's got all this other room with no cars. But no, he wants to walk right beside my car. And it irritates me. So there's that, right? His mom moved into the very first apartment at the entrance. And now his dad is living in one of the apartments in the back where the other couple moved out. And now there's an empty apartment across from me. So now I'm wondering who the hell is going to move in there now? Your aunt, you know? But anyhow, that's neither here or there, right? That was the only thing that started bothering me this year. However, a couple of months back, another couple, no, they're not a couple. Like 3 girls moved into an apartment that was vacant in the back. I don't know who lived there. I don't remember. Oh yeah, it was that young guy. It was a young guy with the 2 kids. He was getting a divorce. And I know all this information from the nosy neighbor that I have. He was getting a divorce. Apparently they're working it out. They're getting a house together now. So he moved out. Okay, well, these 3 girls moved into that apartment. Let's go. And these 3 girls are young. And I don't even know how they afford it there unless they split the rent 3 ways. But they also have these 2 other guys that live there. So I don't know if these 2 guys are helping them with the rent as well. And if they're even on the lease. I don't even think that the landlady cares. Oh God. Not to get off subject, you all, but I've been dealing with this upset stomach since this morning. I tossed my cookies earlier. It went away, and now I'm getting it again. Anyhow, so the thing is that these 2 boys, right? There's a tall one and there's a short one. And the short one I thought was just a kid because he looks like a kid. But then I saw him driving one of the Chargers. Or the Charger. The real noisy Charger that they have. And I'm like, okay, so he cannot be a kid unless he's like a teen and he's already got his permit or something. I don't know. I don't care. This is what I care about. Those 2 boys at night, they seem to come out and roam around the small little community that we have, and they're up to no good. Now, my nosy neighbor has mentioned already that she got a knock on her window very late at night that woke her up, and she said it was a boy and a girl because the girl was laughing, and they knocked on her window, and then they ran off. You could hear that they ran away. She told the landlady about it. The landlady couldn't do anything because how does she know who it is, right? How would she know? But anyhow, that happened. And I told her, I bet it's that one apartment. I'm going to say apartment 26, okay? That way I don't dox anybody. I believe it was apartment 26. And she kept defending those girls. No, it's not them. I bet it's the other neighbor. The neighbor that she did not like. The one that already moved out, you know? That's where the dad of the other people moved in. And I was like, I honestly don't think it was her kids that did that. Her kids, are young adults. I don't think that they did that. I'm telling you, it was the people in apartment 26. No. Okay, whatever. Think whatever you want then. Well, last night, I showed her a video where these 2 boys, they were getting ready to do something. And they saw my camera and they walked away. They turned around, they made a U-turn and walked to the back again. Now, before I even showed her that video, I told her, strangest thing that happened was that I had already heard those kids, okay? I heard those kids on the side of the building already, because one of them was parked outside my window. Again, I hate that so much. They were parked on the side of my window. So what I did was I took my trash bag out, because I had to go throw the trash first. I took my trash bag out. I left it in front of my door, and then I kind of slammed the door. Not very loud, mind you, but I slammed the door, locked it, went back inside. Of course, I'm inside already. Gathered my things so that I can get ready to go pick up my son, because I knew I was going to have to leave, right? So I went and I put my shoes on and everything, and I said bye to my cat. I'll be right back. And I proceeded to walk out. When I proceeded to walk out, that's when I got, no. Let me back up. I'm so sorry with this storytelling. Before I did all that, I went to get my phone from the bathroom, because I had just taken a shower and everything, and I left my phone going. I was listening to the creator who comes out and talks about the Communiti, you know? And that's when I got a notification, and I saw that the kids had walked up close to my door. They saw the camera, and then they made a U-turn and walked right back to the back, right? And then that's when I said, shit, like, what do I do now? You know, I need to leave. I need to go pick up my son. That's when I got my shoes on and everything. And I was like, and damn it, I need to throw that trash too. I left it out there. So I went out there, you know, as I walked right out of the front door, I had already, like, gotten out of that live, because I didn't want anybody to hear that I was outside, right? So I walked out the front door, and then I noticed like a presence on the side of my eye. It was I noticed somebody standing there, and I felt somebody looking right at me, right? So I happened to look to the left, and it was my other neighbor, the one that lives on the other side of me, and he was looking right at me, and I'm like, hello, hi. You know, like, why is he looking at me? What the hell, you know? And he's like, did you just ring my doorbell? And I was like, what? No. And then I said, hold on. Let me lock my door. Because at that point, I was already feeling unsafe. I felt like these kids were going to come right back around the corner. So I locked my door, and I'm there pushing my door to make sure that it is locked, you know? And I walk a little bit further down, not up to his door, but I tell him, you know what, there were these two boys over here just now, and I don't know what they're doing. I said, but they were right here. They were getting ready to do something else, and then they went around the corner again. They turned back around and went around the corner, and I know this because my Ring camera picked it up. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he went inside, and I left. You know, I went to go throw the trash. I looked to the side, you know, the side of my building. There was nobody there. And I just, like, walked really fast to my car, got in my car, locked the doors, started the car, and took off. Now, I sent the video to the nosy neighbor, right? To tell her what was going on. And she's like, that's weird. I wonder why they were acting weird like that. And then I told her, yeah, the neighbor stopped me and thought I had ringed his doorbell. And she's like, what? I go, yeah. And let me move you all this way so you don't have to see my purse and my seat. So she's like, man, she's like, that's so weird. And then she went silent. Like, she didn't say anything else to me. And then I was already, like, fixing to go to bed. I went back to that live that I was listening to, the Communiti, you know, and all of a sudden she starts texting me again, and she's like, you're not going to believe what just happened. And I said, what? You know? And she's like, I was outside walking chaps, and the other neighbor, your neighbor that parks next to you, just got home, and he was coming around to the back, right? But at that point, those two boys were back there. And I said, oh no, you know? And she's like, yeah, but they were talking to that neighbor that lives in apartment 26. She went back inside to her apartment. They stayed out here, and the taller one went to the back of the building, acting like he was looking for something. And I said hi to him. He did not respond to me. But he went back to the back of the building like he was looking for something. And then that's when your other neighbor that parks next to you, came up. Not the guy that lives next to me, mind you. The guy that had told me at one time when I was back there, "Can I help you with something?" That guy. So we'll just call him the "Can I help you" neighbor. So the "Can I help you" neighbor was coming down to his apartment, which is in the back, right? And I said hi to him, and he said hi back to me. He saw the tall guy standing back there, going back there to the back of his apartment, right? And he doesn't tell him anything. He just like goes into his apartment and shuts the door and locks it. So by that point, I went into my apartment with my dog, closed the door and locked my door. And I said, "You're kidding." And I said, so he didn't even bother to ask him, "Can I help you with something?" the way he asked me. I'm like, what the F, you know? And I'm like, I don't know what's with these men around here that think that I'm a pervert, you know, that think that I want to invade their privacy. I don't give a crap about them. They're not attractive to begin with. And, you know, why are they talking to me this way? One of them asking me if they can help me with something a couple of weeks back, you know, and this one over here, "Did you ring my doorbell?" "Yeah, sir, I rang your doorbell because I wanted you to come out just so I could see you. You know, I think you're just so damn hot, and I just wanted to see your damn hotness before I took off and got in my car. That was the plan. I went and I rang your doorbell. Ding dong ditch. I was going to rush into my car and take off. Yeah, you got me. You got me. You got me good." Anyway, you know, these people are crazy. And so anyhow, I told her, "Well, you know what? I'm going to see the landlady tomorrow," which is today. I came to the store so I can get the money order to pay her. And I said, so I'm going to see her tomorrow, and I'm going to tell her about those two boys. I said, I wish the other two would speak up, though, the other two men that live there, and let her know also about these two boys. Because I think the more people we have, you know, complaining about this, maybe she'll do something. Because I guarantee me showing her the video, she's not going to give a shit. She's not going to give a shit, you know? So, and then even she agreed. My neighbor was like, "Yeah, you're right. She's not going to care." And I said, "Yeah, you know," but I said, "You know what? I'm having a little trouble falling asleep because I'm wondering if they're going to come knock at my door now, or my window, for that matter." I said, "Now I'm going to have to invest in a camera for my window." And believe you me, I have no problem calling the cops. I will have the cops come over here, and I will ask them to walk around, and I'll tell them what happened, you know. But yeah, I'm not going to just let it slide. You know, maybe she's willing to let it slide. I am not. But anyhow, this is what's going on in the community over here. The community, the new apartments. And things like this have been going on for a while. And it's ever since those young girls have moved in. And I'm not blaming them. They're not doing anything, okay? These girls, they hardly ever come out of their apartment to begin with. But the people they're inviting over are the ones that are causing this havoc. And I'm not having it. Nobody's having it, you know? But it just seems like I'm always the one to have to do the talking. Because I'm the one getting accused here. And not really. I'm not really getting accused. But you know, for some guy to ask me if I rang his doorbell, like, come on now. Really? Really? You know, you just saw me coming out of my apartment. What makes you think I rang your fucking doorbell? You know, sorry for the language. Anyhow, I'm just not having it. You know, I'm just not. Hopefully things will get better, you know? Because, yeah, this is becoming a problem, and none of us feel that safe anymore. Like, neither me nor my neighbor feel that safe. Even the lady in the very first apartment, in the entrance, apartment 0, I'll call it apartment 0, she's like not having it either. She's seeing what's going on with these guys, and she don't like it either. So yeah, that's what's going on right now in the community. And you all, I really want to call it the community. Can I call it the community? Angry man, can I steal that from you? The community? Screw it. I'm just going to call it the community, okay? I love that. So anyhow, y'all should check him out. I really like that. He's aware that Latinos watch him too. You bet I do. I secretly have a crush on him. I do. A little crush. His wife can probably beat my ass good, but I would never. But he's just this strong man, you know, and I like that. I like man. I like men that are manly, you know, manly men. Now there's a difference between machismo and being a strong man. This is a strong man. He knows his place as a strong man. And he don't let no woman walk all over him. And that's what I really like. And he will not hesitate to put a woman in her place. And mind you, he's not abusive about it. He's very, what would be the right word to describe it? He's polite, but not polite. How would you describe it? It's not abusive, okay? I can tell you that much. He's not abusive at all. But he knows where he stands as a man, and I love that. I find that so attractive in a man who knows his place, you know? Again, it's not machismo. Machismo is different. Machismo is more of abusive. He's more like, no, you're going to do it my way and that's it because I'm right and that's it. You know? This lady backed up so quickly she almost hit the person behind her. 2 people. Lady, you need to watch where the hell you're going. Anyhow. But yeah, you guys, you know, just at least try to listen to him once. That's all I can say, because then you'll know what I'm talking about. And you're going to see him, you're going to be like, really, Moon? This is a guy you're saying you're crushing on? It's not a crush. It's just, I find it attractive. Like I said, I find that kind of a man attractive. A good, strong, godly man that knows his place. I find that so freaking attractive. Especially a man that mentions God. I find that so freaking attractive, you all. Sue me, you know. But I know my place also. I know that I am in a relationship. I know I'm not going to cheat in my relationship. I know I'm not going to try to pursue anything outside my relationship. I know that's a big no-no. You know, so anyway, I need to get off of this car. People are coming and going, and they're wondering, why is this girl sitting in her car still? Is she planning to case out the place? Is she going to be ringing our doorbells at night? You know, can I help you with something? You know? So I love you all. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to y'all again soon. Bye.